I'm very nice to see you again.
Yeah. So, what do you think the chances of ULEZ getting stopped, the expansion stopped?
Well, I'll be honest with you, unless the government pull their fingers out and do something about it and actually use their power to veto, to overrule Sadiq Khan's totally self-centred approach to hitting drivers in the pocket, this guy here in Rishi Sunak, number 10, could do something about it now. He could absolutely at least postpone it for another year, and certainly after next year's mayoral election. It can be done. We've got to keep up the pressure.
So now it's an election issue, the ULEZ expansion. What do you think your chances are against Susan Hall?
I don't think it's a problem. Susan Hall, you've got to remember, she's part of an opposition Tory group who have been in power for 7 years, or not in power, in opposition for 7 years, and they haven't done anything, have they? We've got this. They are part of the problem, and what they need to do is recognise, and I think they should step out of the way. I've already told Susan I'm happy to make her my deputy mayor.
So with Reform, would they, if they got nationwide elected, would they stop all of the LTNs, all of the low ULEZs, all of those climate actions?
Yeah, what we would do, all of ULEZ would go. It wouldn't be just the extension. It would be the one right up to the North and South Circular and the central one. That would go. All LTNs would go, all 20-mile-an-hour zones, and the big cycle lanes would go as well. We need to get London moving again. That's the problem.
Thank you for the interview.
No problem.
Hello, how you doing?
I've been watching your content since the start of ULEZ.
Right.
You are like the champion of anti-ULEZ.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't know if I'm the champion, but I've tried to cover it. Yeah. Who are you covering for?
No, I'm just independent.
Oh, okay. You have a channel?
Yeah, Andre Monti is a channel.
Oh, awesome. Go subscribe to him.
You inspired me to come out here.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
What do you think the chances of ULEZ expansion stopping? Because
No, it's happened. It's happened now. It's happened. Yeah. The only thing that now can happen is that it could get reversed, and that depends on the mayoral election. So it depends on if, like, Susan Hall or Howard Cox gets in, then we have an opportunity to reverse it. But as far as the ULEZ expansion is concerned, it has happened. It's happened today.
who do you think has the best chance of stopping ULEZ? Howard Cox or Susan Hall?
I don't want to say. I don't want to.
Politician.
Yeah, but no, it's not politician. It's that I don't tell people who to vote for. I don't do that. I basically, as a journalistic point of view, I tell people what they're saying, what their policies are, and then let people decide. So it's a very interesting question. It's a very valid question. It's not one that I can answer. We have to wait and see. But we definitely have to vote for whoever is going to reverse ULEZ.
Do you think Rishi Sunak will step in with a GLA Act?
No.
He won't?
No, they've already decided that they won't. Because they've had a look at it, and they found that if they are challenged in court, they will lose that. So therefore, they've decided not to do it.
But only if they stop it nationwide, then they could use the Act.
No, apparently no. Apparently what they found is that if they do that and they get challenged, they will lose that challenge. That's it. Awesome to see you.
I might speak to you again later.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
So, I spoke to your mayoral candidate, Howard Cox.
Yes.
What do you think his chances are against Susan Hall?
Look, he's focusing on winning. It's not a case of against Susan Hall, it's against Sadiq Khan. He is the man who is destroying London. He's literally ruining London. And Howard Cox, for Reform, we're the ones with the right policies. We're going to get London moving because we're going to scrap the whole of ULEZ. Susan Hall only wants to scrap the extension. We've got to scrap the whole of ULEZ. We've got to lift all of the LTNs that are causing more pollution, more congestion, massive damages to small businesses and things. And we've got to lift the 20-mile-an-hour limit. Again, that is actually causing more congestion, more pollution. And we've got to ditch Khan, and that's what we're going to do.
Would you also scrap the congestion charge as well?
So we'll keep under review looking at that, but at the moment we're saying it's these three things: scrap the whole of the ULEZ scheme, the existing and the extension, lift all the LTNs, and lift the 20-mile-an-hour in most areas.
So your wider policy, obviously Howard Cox is just London. If you became Prime Minister, would you stop all of the LTNs,
Absolutely.
all of the ULEZ?
All of these, they're all cash grabs. It's all about the money. It's about Sheriff Khan or mayors of other cities. What they're all trying to do is they're trying to impoverish decent, ordinary working families. It's a tax on the poor. It's a tax on the least well-off. It's hideous. It's revolting. And we've now proven, actually, haven't we, with Sadiq Khan, basically, he is a lying, corrupt racist. That's what he is, and we're not going to let him forget it between now and the mayoral election.
And would you investigate Khan for trying to squash the Imperial College numbers?
Exactly, so he's been trying to fiddle the data, fudge the numbers. He's been trying to bribe the scientists with more funding in order they would change their reports. That is corruption. That's what he is. He's corrupt. He's lied to us about so much of the data. He's lied to us about whether or not he wants to pay his scheme. And look, I live in London. I happen to have white skin. It doesn't matter, but he doesn't like white Londoners. That means he's a racist, and I'm not having it.
Yeah, so Sadiq Khan called all ULEZ protesters racists. He said they were all right.
I tell you what, that's bloody rich coming from him.
Yeah. So one of the main protesters here is the brown car guy. I don't know if you've interviewed with him.
Yeah, I've interviewed lots of people, and you know, there's so many fantastic people everywhere who are helping, making a big noise. I tell you what, if Khan thinks this is going quiet, he has got another thing coming. He's got this badly wrong. He's misjudged Londoners. He's misjudged the mood, not only of people who live in London, but people who work in London, who visit London. Anybody who comes to Heathrow Airport to drop someone off or to pick someone up who's got a non-ULEZ compliant, they're going to be fined or they're going to be charged. No one knows this stuff. It's outrageous.
So what do you think about the air quality on the underground? It came out that they had toxic air on the underground, but above ground there's clean air.
London's roadside air is the best it's ever been, ever. It's in the best 25% of world cities, big capital cities. That's the reality. There's no air problem in London at the roadside. Where there is toxic air is in Khan's tube. He knows it, he's covering it up. It's an absolute outrage, and we've got to expose it.
Okay, last question. You're polling at around 6-7%. How do you strategize?
Wrong, my friend. We're now polling 8, 9, 10%. Polls go up and down. I'm telling you, my prediction, by Christmas, we'll be hitting 11%, maybe 12%. You wait, you watch, word is spreading. If you want change, you've got to vote Reform. If you want things to carry on in their terrible way, the two main parties, they represent the same thing. High taxes, poor public services, zero growth, high, unlimited, open borders immigration. That's not what this country wants. We want higher wages, we want cheap British energy, we want net zero immigration, and we want to protect and preserve and promote our great British culture, and to get rid of all this gender ideology nonsense.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that was Richard Tice. It was a pretty interesting interview, and I'm going to see if I can get any more interviews with people.
Well, let me stand over this side. Have you got a knife? I don't know if it will come true. It might do, it depends if the bad guys get ahead. Might do. Right, it is my birthday today and I did not want to be doing this. It's democracy, that's what it is. It's democracy. So, it is my birthday today. I'm 45 years old and I want to be just getting on with my life. I don't want to be doing this nonsense. This having to constantly protest all the time to make politicians listen to us. This is not about clean air. It's not even going to give us clean air. If you take a city car from the city and move it to the countryside, it's going to do more mileage. If it does more mileage, it's going to pollute more. If it pollutes more, it's going to cause more climate change problems, more pollution, more toxic air. We can't keep Sahara Desert dirt out of London. How the hell are we going to keep the extra pollution that's moved to the countryside out of London? It's bonkers, but none of the media are picking up on this. It's such a simple, basic fact. I want politicians to listen to us. I want them to listen to us and put their things in their manifesto. If Singh Khan said he was going to expand ULEZ in his manifesto and he got voted in,
We've got Nigel Farage here. So you've been at every single ULEZ protest pretty much?
All but one, yeah.
All but one. What do you think the chances are now that it's getting? Do you think Sadiq Khan will come to his senses and repeal it?
Doesn't look like it, does it? He's pressing ahead with us regardless. There's so much opposition to it. His own report, the Jacobs report, states there is no impact on air quality whatsoever. So it makes no sense. It's almost like a suicide mission. I don't know why he's following this. It makes no sense. It's clearly got nothing to do with clean air. It looks to us like, well, it is really. It's about funding TfL. TfL has a massive black hole, and he's looking at ways to fill it.
Do you think he's only doing it because the TfL is bankrupted?
Yeah, correct. That's exactly it. Yeah.
So, how is ULEZ going to affect you?
It's going to affect me if I need carers to come in to look, for treatment and things like that. They're going to have to pay the fines, which means my care gets affected. Not just me, but there's other disabled people, other elderly people that rely on carers to come in. Their care is also going to be affected by it. If I need tradespeople to come in to work on my property. Not just my property, but if anyone needs tradespeople to come in to work on their properties, they're going to be affected too, because their bills are going to be more expensive as a result. Because, these companies aren't just going to absorb the fees, they're going to pass them on to their customers. So it's going to put everything up. So, as if people aren't being squeezed enough at the minute with the cost of living crisis, they're going to be squeezed even more with this. It makes no sense.
And are you able to upgrade your car, or are you stuck with it?
I'm stuck with it at the moment.
Yeah. So, obviously, because ULEZ has come in, all of the ULEZ compliant cars are now like, there's a ULEZ premium basically.
But the thing is, ULEZ, it's people say, oh, it doesn't affect me, I'm compliant, all the rest of it. It does really, because as I just said, with the carers, with the rest of it, the tradespeople, but you've got to remember, compliant, but for how long? Because the thing is, when they realise it's not making enough money for them, they're going to move the goalposts again. This is what happens. It's like what happened back in 2015 with the diesel. They said, buy a diesel, it's good for the environment. Now they've all changed that and telling everyone they've got to change again. It's going to happen. They're going to keep moving the goalposts and then pay per mile. That's the next one.
So what do you think about the turnout with this protest? You've been at every single protest.
Yeah.
How has the turnout increased over time?
It's gradually. I think Trafalgar Square was probably the biggest one we had. And Tooting was actually quite good as well last weekend. I think, absolutely, well, look around you, it's a brilliant turnout, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Loads of people.
It is. For a Tuesday, for a midweek protest, I think it's absolutely brilliant.
So do you think there'll be more protests when people start getting fined?
Definitely, yeah, there will be more protests. This is only the beginning. It's not, the fight is very much alive. Still very much alive. We are going to carry on the fight.
Yeah, because obviously most people probably don't even know about ULEZ, but once they start getting those fines through the door, then maybe more people will turn out.
Well, yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed it will take, if that's what it's going to take for people to wake up, then that's what needs to happen. But the sooner people wake up to this tyranny, the better, really, because it has it's not helping anyone.
And who's your favourite candidate right now, Susan Hall or Howard Cox?
I'd say I'd probably say Cox at the minute.
Yeah, because he's gonna completely cancel ULEZ completely, whereas Susan Hall is only going to stop the expansion.
Well, the thing is, there's that. But the thing is, you've got to remember the Tories are complicit in ULEZ as well, because it was originally Boris Johnson's idea. Yeah, so.
I can't really trust Susan Hall because she's probably just doing this for being politically expedient.
It looks that way, but then again, you've got to remember she has to follow her own party line, and if her party line, if they decide to suddenly change tax, she's got to go with it, whether she agrees with it or not.
So Keir has said that basically Labour lost because of ULEZ in Uxbridge.
That's correct.
Do you think that he's going to really pressure Sadiq Khan to drop this, or do you think he's going to let Sadiq Khan go?
I think if he doesn't do anything to stop it, he's shooting himself in the foot, really, isn't he? This is going to cost him votes, and it could well cost him the next general election.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Thank you. Yeah.
So that was a good interview. He's been at pretty much every single ULEZ protest, so he's like the OG, along with the brown car guy. Yeah, I think he said he's been at every single ULEZ protest except for one. So that shows you how passionate he is about this subject. And this is my first protest for ULEZ, but as I've been covering or watching the coverage, this is probably one of the biggest ones. And I think that's only going to get bigger as people start getting fined. Most people don't even know about ULEZ. I saw a couple just over there. They were essentially saying that they didn't even know what this protest was about. So it shows that the wider audience, or the average Londoner, doesn't even know what ULEZ is. So hopefully when the fines start coming through the door, people will wake up and people will come to more protests and Sadiq Khan will be forced to drop it. So anyway, let's get some more interviews.
ignoring the people, ignoring consultation, and not taking any notice of what he should have put in his manifesto. He didn't put it in his manifesto, he's just doing his own thing. So yes, democracy is dead. We've got an elected government, and the elected government are ignoring us. They're saying there's nothing they can do about it, which is a lie. They shut down the Stormont Assembly when they wanted to, so they could shut down the GLA if they wanted to. But they're not doing it.
Do you think Kia will pressure Sadiq Khan to stop?
If Kia doesn't pressure Sadiq Khan to stop, Kia will be out the door, same as Sadiq will be out the door. We need Keir Starmer to tell Sadiq Khan to resign, he's gone too far. We need the Labour Party to tell Sadiq Khan to resign, and we need Keir Starmer to get the Labour Party to be what it was meant to be, which is to be for the people. It's not for the people, it's for the rich, self-serving, multi-property landlords, and they're all over the Labour Party. Says Keir Starmer himself is a multi-millionaire.
So would you vote for Howard Cox or Susan Hall?
Well, it's difficult to say. I mean, obviously Susan Hall says she'll get rid of the ULEZ expansion, but as we've seen with Sadiq Khan, a politician can say one thing and do what the hell they like when they've got the position of Mayor of London. I know Howard Cox, I know him from Fair Fuel, and he will do what he says on the tin. He says he's going to get rid of ULEZ completely. So, but then of course people are worried about splitting the vote. But I think, I think we should get rid of first past the post anyway. Thank you.
Bullshit is a scam, right? It's been caught out. It's going to be paper mile next time, right? It's all bullshit. It's all a scam. ULEZ is a scam. Sadiq Khan is a racist bastard. That's simple. He's a racist bastard from a racist bastard party, the Labour Party. Simple as that.
Get called out.
So I think they're going to loop around now on the end of the street, so I'm going to see if I can intercept and get some more footage. So you can see they did block the road, but it was legal. They got the police's permission. It's not like Just Stop Oil, where we just sit in the front of the road. You know, the traffic was pre-blocked by the police for about, I think, 4 minutes or so. You can see the traffic passing through now. But again, they weren't blocking traffic like Just Stop Oil or sitting in the middle of the road. They got permission. They did a quick loop around from Downing Street to Westminster. So I don't see anything really wrong with that. That's how you protest. You know, you don't protest like Just Stop Oil, where you sit in the road like a bunch of pillocks. You get the permission, you do it properly, you don't hold up anyone, and that's how proper protesting is done. So I don't know how many people are here. I would estimate maybe around 1,000 people, well maybe not 1,000, but certainly hundreds of people. Probably the largest ULEZ protests, and it's only going to get bigger because people are going to start getting fines in the post. People are going to start become aware of the ULEZ, and when they become aware, that's when they're going to start coming out. When they get that £12.50 fine, or even more if they don't pay it, that's when people are going to start revolting. So hopefully, at least. So this is the man who did a hunger strike for ULEZ. So what do you think about ULEZ now that it's gone through?
Well, whether it is going through according to Mr. Khan, but we won't let it go through. We'll keep fighting back, and we'll make sure it is removed, and keep fighting back till it is removed. Yeah, so this is here why we are here for. We are, running the big protest today, showing the death of democracy because of Mr. Khan's irresponsibility and because of the conservative government who did not take part into, did not listen to the people to save the democratic structure of this country.
So how many days did you do a hunger strike for?
I did 7 days, and that was an indication to the people of this country. This is how you're going to be like in future if you don't fight back. So that was a symbolic approach to show the people this is how these situations are going to be like in future. So let's fight back now or train yourself to be hungry.
Okay, thank you, man. This guy, he's a legend, absolute legend, doing hunger strike. So he's passionate about the issue, and yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sadiq Khan, you're banjo, a kanjar, a mother chod, that's all what you are, and a slithering little rat. And you're not the mayor of London.
So you know Sadiq Khan, he says that we're racists, apparently.
No, Sadiq Khan is a racist. He's a racist against Britain, racist against white people, simple. And that's a Labour policy.
Yeah. So Sadiq Khan thinks that we're racist, apparently. If you're against higher taxation, that makes you a racist. If you're against any climate policy, you're a racist. It's complete nonsense.
Driver Will, do not pay. Take down the cameras. Driver Will, do not pay. Take down the cameras. Correct. Take down the cameras. Do not pay. Exactly that. Mass non-compliance will be this. It's as simple as that. If everyone refuses to pay the fines, this will collapse just like the Birmingham Clean Air Zone did. So in Birmingham, they've still got the signs up, but they are refusing. They're completely giving up now on chasing people for fines. The same will happen here in London. Sadiq Khan needs to go. As simple as that. This is not working. It's not working. It's not working. That's absolutely nothing to do with PDX.
What do you think the chances of Sadiq Khan resigning is?
Has he got a choice?
I don't know. There's so many people here.
I think it'll get to the point where he'll have to. Yeah, he'll become an exile.
And are you in favour of Susan Hall or Howard Cox?
Howard Cox, definitely.
So what do you think the chances of Sadiq Khan resigning is?
None. There's no chance he'll resign. It's not in his ego to resign. We would have to vote him out.
And who would you vote for? Susan Hall, who's part of Conservatives, or Howard Cox?
I I imagine Howard Cox. I know it's always traditionally been Labour versus Conservative, but they've both harmed us in different ways in the last 3 years, so I think it's time for someone new.
And do you think Susan Hall actually will repeal ULEZ, or do you think she's just being politically expedient?
It's difficult to tell with the Conservative these days. They'll say whatever they think they need to get into power. So.
I don't know why it happened, but people are getting manhandled over here, and there's never been any problems at any protest.
There was no pushing.
Yes, there was. I got pushed.
No, by the police.
Did you see what happened?
Yeah. No, I just saw one of the leaders of one of the groups being manhandled. Right?
I saw him get pushed.
Yeah, and I don't know why. And then that poor lady at the back there, she got knocked over as well. Yeah. It's not good enough.
So we just saw 2 people get knocked over, 2 old elderly people get knocked over, so I don't know if that's what that says about the police.
You have to warn them before. What you do is you go up to them, you say, you can't move your vehicle, you're going to get out of the way. You go up to them, you need to hold the fire. So by the way, you don't want to go the other way around. You're running the line. You're running the grace period. You haven't done that. You haven't done that, like, so you haven't done that. That's what happens in the road traffic jam.
So they're going to try to take this man's car. They're going to try to tow it.
Therefore, you have to let it go. Simple as that. You know what a reasonable request is? A reasonable request is just asking for a little bit slower, or you're going to cancel. That's the get harder! 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 Do not comply, simple as that. Moving at all, let's break the procedure. The procedure is you all reverse, and then you do it. If you didn't do that, this is a target to take. This is exactly what this is. This is not right at all.
So the police are in a sticky situation here. Not good optics. Not good optics whatsoever.
You should be allowed to move it. Let him move it.
Everyone back, please. have to live. They have to live. Victory, there we go, victory. If anything officer, that's the problem. Well, thank you very much, people. Thank you very much. It's in the end, numbers, which can win. The police become reasonable when we have the numbers. And I thank the police for being reasonable, and I thank you for being here. Well done. Well done. Well done. Now, anyone who is going to come with me when I'm going, please get in the car now. Boy, coming? You get in? Okay. I've got a quick question I'd like to ask everyone. Does they get a ticket as well, that tow truck for blocking the public carriageway? Does that get one as well? Yeah, you're going to have to come, you're going to have to step aside, sir.
Resist, defy, and do not comply.
That's it. What's it? It's a bit like on, right?
Another victory for the people!
You can stick to the wall. They won't see that. The thing is, all they had to do is ask him to move his car. But instead of doing that, they thought they were trying their little sneak tactic, try and park the field and try and pull it away. Now, they've got to follow procedure, yeah? And the law states you must warn someone before you grab him, yeah? Now, what they didn't even warn him, they just decided to do it. All they had to do is go up to him and say, sir, can you move your car? And he'd go, yeah, all right, no problem. But of course, they didn't want to do that. They wanted to create a scene out of it, because this is what it is, the shit show that we've got here, yeah? They want to take away from ULEZ and turn it into something else. Yeah? This is exactly what they're doing, and it's playing wrong. This needs to stop. Simple as that. The whole thing. They're trying to get it. Yeah, it's a PR stunt, that's what it is. All orchestrated by the people that building over there. None of this was actually needed.
Because we want rid of ULEZ. We don't want ULEZ. It's simple as that. ULEZ has nothing to do with clean air and everything to do with money. Because paying your £12.50. So you pay your £12.50, what does it change? Absolutely nothing. It doesn't suddenly make your car green, does it? No, it doesn't, does it? So if I give you £12.50, I can pollute all my pretty much, that's what it is. So it just goes to change, got nothing to do with clean air. The other thing is, why isn't he doing anything about the tube level? Now, the tube level has pollution levels 40 times worse than that street level. But yet he's not doing anything about that. Why is that, I ask? Now, I'll tell you why that is. It's because he can't make any money out of the tube network, because they run and they own it. They can't make any money out of that. But they can make money out of you and your car. They don't own you and they don't own your car. It's all about the money. It's got absolutely nothing to do with clean air whatsoever, and this needs to stop. This is simply a war of owners, that's what it is.
So what is your demand now to the Prime Minister? What's
scrap? Just scrap ULEZ. The thing is that, you know, the Conservative Party are just as complicit as the Labour Party on this one, because they could have brought in legislation against this. They could have stopped this in its tracks, but they decided not to. So that just makes them equally to blame, if not more so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there you have it, guys. With enough numbers, the police caved into pressure. The optics was too bad for them. They saw a guy in a wheelchair, they saw an old guy with an old car, and there was too many people there. So they caved in. So hopefully Sadiq will cave in as well to the pressure. What's your reaction to the car getting towed?
Well, it wasn't going to get towed, was it?
The numbers...
No, they broke the law. The thing is, the law states they have to warn someone before they take action, so i.e. they have to ask you to move your car. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. We pointed that out to them. They were trying to dig their heels in, but at the end of the day, they're breaking the law. So therefore, they have to comply with the law too. They're not above the law. So that's that. Yeah.
The pressure was too much for them in the end, guys. Too many people. Alright, guys, so there you have it. That was the ULEZ protest. Quite an eventful day. Got an interview with Howard Cox, Richard Tice, the brown car guy. I wanted to get an interview with Susan Hall, but she wasn't here. Well, I didn't see her here at least. There was 2 people that got pushed over, 1 elderly woman, 1 elderly man, or older man. So police clearly getting pretty violent, or at least kind of instigating stuff, which classic tactics. And then also the man with the ULEZ car almost getting towed, but I think the optics were too bad for the police. There was too much pressure, too many people there. They would have to move too many people, and yeah, eventually they gave in to the pressure and they didn't tow his car. They let him go, thankfully. So yeah, guys, if you guys have enjoyed that video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.